I hate you because we're from different neighborhoods.
I hate you because you look different.
I hate you because I don't understand you.
I hate you because people I know hate you.
I hate you because I think you hate me.
Because I need someone to blame.
Because you talk different.
Because you act different.
Because you're just different. Man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to do a commercial about it.
Me too.
Robert Kraft hates hatred. The CEO and chairman of the Kraft Group, owner of the New England Patriots, created the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism in 2019. And in 2024, he donated $1 million to UNCF to expand Unity Dinners, bringing together Black students from HBCUs and Jewish students from nearby Hillels, promoting empathy and understanding. The goal is to rebuild this historical partnership between Black and Jewish Americans and combat hate in all forms. These Unity Dinners are an opportunity for these students, along with local community leaders, to promote dialogue and learn about the shared history of struggle for social justice, encouraging students to serve as change agents.
We all have these different views. We all have these different opinions, but we're more divided than we should be unified, and that's literally like a small problem because we're bigger together than apart.
Robert Kraft says he's honored to support UNCF in his mission to combat hate and promote unity.
I was privileged. Dr. Lomax asked me to speak to his group in Washington. And when I did it there, I was so moved by seeing all these college presidents from the Black universities that I made a 7-figure gift and said, you know what? And it was a serendipitous thing that it just made me feel what our people had gone through. And we got to build bridges together to stop the hate, stop the discrimination, make sure every student in this room has an opportunity to live their dream, no matter how they worship God or what the color of their skin is.
He also co-founded Reform Alliance, along with Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and other leaders committed to transforming probation and parole throughout the U.S.
When I think about people of influence and success, I think they have a great responsibility to do something with it. You can realize that life is much bigger than you and your personal situation, that people matter, that opportunities matter, that giving back matters, and you can do something with the influence and success that you've had, and I think RKK has done that.
And that's why the 2025 UNCF Frederick D. Patterson Award goes to Robert Kraft.
Please welcome to the stage the CEO and chairman of the Kraft Group, Robert Kraft. To present this award is Dr. Michael L. Lomax. Joining Dr. Lomax is Milton H. Jones Jr. and Dr. George T. French Jr.
You know, there's a great gift in having the opportunity to work in an organization like UNCF, and that great gift is really meeting wonderful people from different backgrounds who are committed to making change, often very difficult change, to make the world in which we live a better place. I've gotten to know Robert Kraft beyond the resume, beyond the extraordinary achievements of his business life. And what he will tell you when you get to know him is that the legacy that has really meant the most to him has been the legacy of his father's faith and his father's commitment to helping others. We at UNCF have built friends and allies and supporters across many, many barriers that oftentimes separate people. We have strong business support. We have strong philanthropic support. We have incredible support from the faith community. And one of the strongest sources of our support over the 81 years of our existence have been our allies in the Jewish community. One of my dreams has been to reconnect and to strengthen that allyship, where we can work together to end all of the hates that stand in the way of human development and living in a better world. We've focused on our relationship with the Jewish community by creating what we call inside UNCF the Tikkun Olam Society. Its name is drawn from a Hebrew phrase, Tikkun Olam, which means to heal the world. And it is that shared commitment to make our world a better one, which I believe bonds Robert to the work of UNCF. Last year, at this time, Robert came down from Boston to speak to a dinner that we have right before our annual meeting, hosted by our chair, where we bring people who are doing great work in the world, and they talk with our member presidents. And Robert talked about the work that he's doing with his foundation to address not just anti-Semitism, but all forms of hate. And it was at that moment that he, like in church, felt an inspiration to dig deep and to give. And he gave us a $1 million gift that enabled us to activate our Tikkun Olam Society and begin to host simple dinners on HBCU campuses, on predominantly white institution campuses, at safe spaces where we would bring black students and Jewish students together to break bread, to learn about one another, and to begin to forge friendships that would help them be those healers of the world. This gentleman lives that work every day. Every day. And you may think he's great because he owns a great football team. You may think he's great because he has been an incredibly successful business leader. I think he's great because he is so impatient to do the work to make ours a better world. So it is with great honor that I hand him an award named in behalf of Frederick Douglass Patterson, the founder of the United Negro College Fund. He's a founder too. Please join me in celebrating and recognizing and showing our deep appreciation for Robert Kraft.
Wow. Good evening, all, and it's a tremendous honor to be with you all here tonight and to receive this Frederick D. Patterson Award. I want to thank Dr. Michael Lomax, your president, here tonight. I thought only my mother would believe what he said, but it was very kind, and I thank all of you at UNCF for this meaningful recognition for the incredible work that you do to provide opportunities to students across the country. To be in the company of so many distinguished leaders, one of which is my Super Bowl 49 hero, my pal Malcolm Butler's here. And he came from Texas, so he believes in what you're doing, but all the educators and change makers, it's truly humbling to me. As I understand it, Frederick D. Patterson believed in equality of opportunity, and he helped create that opportunity through education. I know that firsthand because I grew up in a home of modest financial income, but I was fortunate enough to be privileged to attend college and business school on full academic scholarships, and I know how important that is, and you all are doing that. And education, to me, is the great equalizer in this country. It unlocks doors, it empowers individuals, and it uplifts entire communities. That is why the work of UNCF is so vital. And it was exactly 1 year ago today, and I think Dr. Lomax told you that I was here and made the commitment to give $1 million here from my foundation to combat anti-Semitism that's symbolized by this blue square. And we've been partnering with UNCF on our collective efforts to fight hate. And Dr. Lomax told you about how he was kind enough to invite me down to meet your board members and HBCU presidents. And as I sat in the room and I heard the UNCF leaders talk about the enduring bond and the Black and Jewish community's commitment, I was inspired, and that's why I made that gift right on the spot, because continuity and ensuring that the bond between our community never fades, and that's very important to me. And you know, this history of our community is personal. I remember Dr. Martin Luther King delivering his speech during the March in Washington in 1963. Even though I think I'm only 35 now, I was just 22 years old, and like so many others, I was deeply moved. And I was very honored that Dr. King's son invited me to stand on those same steps at the Lincoln Memorial last year and speak at the anniversary of the march 60 years later. The civil rights movement showed the world what is possible when we all stand together against hate and injustice. Jewish Americans were among the most active non-Black participants in the civil rights movement, and I'm proud of that. And shortly after the 1963 March on Washington, Jews continued to work side by side with Black Americans in the civil rights movement. Two young men, Michael Schwerner and Andrew Goodman, worked as volunteers, registering Blacks to vote in Meridian, Mississippi. They worked together with a young Black man named James Chaney. Tragically, all three men were murdered together by the Klansmen, and their bodies were discarded into a secret grave. The discovery of their bodies received nationwide attention, And ultimately, it triggered the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So something good happened out of something terrible. That bond between blacks and Jews in America is a bond that has existed for over a century. As we stood together to fight against intolerance and bigotry then, we must stand together now. Hate against one community. Thank you. Hate against one community is hate against all of us, in my opinion. And we've seen a troubling rise in anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry of all kinds. Through our work at FCAS, we are dedicated to fighting hate in all its forms. We are working to educate, to foster empathy, and to bring people together. Because when we stand united, we are stronger, and we can create real lasting change. I'm proud of the financial commitment I made a year ago and has been put to a program that just does just that, because unfortunately, our two communities have grown apart over the last few years. Working together with UNCF and Hillel, we've been able to launch these unity dinners as part of Dr. Lomax's vision of the Tikkun Olam Society, fixing the world. And we bring Black and Jewish students together across the country, mainly to build bridges, create empathy, and mutual understanding. At this year's Super Bowl in New Orleans, I was pleased to host the first ever sports-themed Unity Summit that follows this model that was started right here. The summit, represented by Xavier, Dillard, and Tulane, brought together 130 college athletes and 50, thank you, and 50 community leaders. That was part of our Super Bowl campaign featuring Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg. Not too many people would have predicted that before the Super Bowl. But tonight, as I accept this great honor, I do it with a great sense of gratitude and responsibility. Our mission together to rebuild the Black-Jewish partnership among our rising generations of American is one that's close to my heart. Arm in arm, we can continue to break down barriers, create opportunities, and ensure that every student, regardless of the background, has a chance to thrive and learn. That concept is something my father left to me in an ethical will. He said, at the end of every day, when we lay our head down on our pillow, we should ask ourselves a simple question. Are the people you touch today richer and better for having known you? Our jobs should be to make people's lives richer and better because they have known you. And I truly believe we can do so together. Thank you again for this recognition. It's my privilege and honor to support UNCF and its mission. And I look forward to working alongside all of you to build a brighter and more equitable future for everyone. Thank you very much.